Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, Mexico versus Finland. Starting to the top right with his account. It is Jim Rising, the Zerg player who took out Poo in the first game, the opening game that we saw there. Now it's time for another Zerg versus Zerg as he's facing player number 2 of Finland. Starting to the bottom left of the way station, we have Cyril, the player who has played quite a lot of games for his Team Insanity just recently. Got a lot of exposure there, and especially he got a lot of practice on such a stage. So right now we have this game here in the round of 16. As already mentioned a little bit earlier, both of those teams want to advance in the bracket. Mexico has a bit of a lead there with a 1-0, and this of course is a barcode ID that we have there, but my user interface puts all of those into caps lock, so you can see that he just went for then he was trying to go for his barcode ID, and yeah, that's basically it. So just in case you were wondering, Mexico versus Finland with a 1-0, and this is a best of 7, meaning, oh, I actually have in the overlay a best of 9, my bad. I'm just gonna change that real quick. It's a best of 7, of course, now it's adjusted. And yeah, so far for that. We have the hatch first here for Jim Rising, and Cyril is starting things off with a pool. You of course watched the last game of his opponent and saw exactly what he did against Poo there, testing the waters a little bit, and at this point he's of course gonna try and find a way to take down his opponent. The 1-1, that's what they're currently aiming for. If it's down to Welmu, that would be a little bit annoying. Keep in mind that we have for Mexico two players still waiting, because it's gonna play 2 Terran players, Maker and Major. Both of those just waiting for the chance here to take charge. Major definitely going to be the heavy hitter there, but Maker also someone who can definitely deliver a punch and win a game. And in the best of 7, every single map counts, of course. It's going to be, can be over like faster than you think. So for now, the Overlord for Cyril just confirming that there is indeed an expansion already. He himself started his own expansion down to the bottom right, also claiming gas, going for a bit of a faster queen here as well with the earlier spawning pool that he has. And right now, he saw, of course, what happened in the first game, that his opponent was skipping speed and was instead going straight for the roaches. But not necessarily something that we're going to see in this game, because there's 100 gas already, and speed should be started pretty soon. We have him already with everything that he needs, and there it is. Fast speed coming out of Jim Rising, maybe even going for a bit of a circling aggression with speedlings. We see that every now and then in this matchup, of course. Can hit you pretty hard if you don't have a Baneling Nest, at least a couple of Spine Crawlers or Wall or the extra Queens for the block at the ramp. But well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's already the Baneling Nest for Cyril, so he doesn't go for speed, but that just says, yep, I'm gonna go for slow Banelings and slow Zerglings at the beginning. If you go for anything super aggressive, I'll be definitely ready to meet it. And there's also the Baneling Nest now for Jim Rising, and with how he started into this game, I guess we're gonna see some aggression out of him. The question is just like, how much is it really gonna be? How much aggression are we gonna see here for him? That's kind of the only question right now. Is he just gonna poke a little bit by double Overlord already being built? So with a double Overlord, he has quite some yeah, it's actually like a lot of free supply that he can use to just go in there and then take down Cyril, or at least throw his units against him. And Cyril is already preparing with a Spine Crawler. He knows that his opponent is going to be a little bit aggressive with that regard, but yeah, there it is. 6 Zerglings already being built. How many more does he get? He's actually droning up besides that as well, so far not really a commitment. Not really something where he suddenly has like 14, 20 Zerglings on the production tab, just going for the drones there. And he actually goes into the lair tech instead, so no aggression by Jim Rising after all, just sitting tight for now. Has the really fast speed and also the Baneling Nest, but decides to not go for the aggression at this point. Instead we have for Cyril also the tech straight into hatch, and both of them with a rather fast tech into that, just like roaming the map with a couple of Zerglings and Overlords, but not really committing to anything here just yet. The speed for Cyril is now already on the way. We have for both of them roughly the same amount of Harvesters, just a little bit of a difference depending on the timing when they started their drones, but in the end it accumulates to the same thing. Roach Warren now started here for Cyril, whereas Jim Rising goes into the 3rd base instead, which has been spotted by the Overlord for Cyril, so he knows very well what's going on here. Now there's time apparently for the aggression, with 18 additional Zerglings being built and quite a couple of Banelings as well. It looks more and more like he wants to go cross map and do some damage. There's no wall over here. The only thing that he can do is block that ramp, of course. The Spine Crawler in a great position to poke at Zerglings that are trying to break through. Lings for Cyril on the other hand, forcing a cancel on this particular base to the top right. It's just a few of those, but it's all that he needs to really force that cancel. And there comes now the base once again, and Serral goes for quite a lot of Zerglings here. He has the Baneling Nest now done as well. The tech into Lair is completed, so with the Baneling Nest and the Roach War and everything else that he has, he can actually just get those Roaches out. But the problem for him is that he has to first deal with his opponent's Banelings. He's getting a couple of Banelings on his own that he can work with. He had his defense, the Spine Crawler is also there at the front, so it should actually be something where he can do quite some damage. 5 Banelings that we have currently for Jim Rising. Moving in right now is Serral with a better Harvester count. Can he hold against this aggression? That's the question here. Banelings versus Banelings. Oh, Zerglings running into the main base. Those Banelings with a little bit of a pathing problem. The Queen in the corner. Cornered immediately, and Banelings! Oh, wow, he needs to... Oh! Serral losing a lot of his Zerglings against his opponent's Banelings there, and that is becoming a big issue. Now finally we have a few Banelings already in the picture for Serral that he can use against Jim Rising's unit. Nice block here on top of that ram, but he's losing quite a couple of Harvesters in the process, and Jim Rising with more and more aggression against his opponent, and the third base behind this. Third also being built for Serral on the other hand. But yeah, Harvesters lost at this point. 11 taken down. The Harvester count 28 against 33. In terms of army supply, we currently have a little bit of a surplus for Jim Rising as well that he can just use to move in again. It's mainly only those Zerglings that he has. We do not have him just with the tech yet into Roaches, but as we see for Serral, the +1 attack upgrade started and also the speed upgrade. But he cannot really pressure that third base any longer. Serral is just using his units cross map, trying to put a bit of pressure onto Jim Rising, maybe even attack that third again, but I don't really think that he's going to be able to make that work, even with the Banelings that he's building right now. A Roach transition, on the other hand, might hit Jim Rising pretty hard. There is no transition for Jim Rising currently. The Mexican player is going to be in a bit of trouble when he's up against +1 Roaches with a speed upgrade. That's definitely going to become an issue here. An attack at that third base takes down the Queen at least, not able to snipe the base or anything, but the Lings are now making their way into the main base, and there is nothing to defend here actually. There's absolutely nothing. At the bottom left, on the other hand, the counter aggression by Jim Rising going straight for the Spine Crawler here. The Roaches are moving in. There are not a lot of those though, but Banelings on their way as well. A lot of the Harvesters going down already at the natural of Jim Rising. He's losing so many of them. Harvesters killed 6 to 25. Serral lost a lot more than his opponent, but in the end it might not matter if Serral can take down his opponent's main base right now. In the main of Serral, the Finnish player is struggling again, keeping those Roaches alive. The Banelings moving in. The counter aggression at the top right, killing the Queen immediately and moving with Banelings in straight again. That Baneling, oh, not gonna finish in the last second. Nice detonate by Serral's Baneling here, bringing all of those drones down to 5 hit points, trying to kill them as well. Harvesters killed 9 to 25. Serral lost so many Harvesters over the course of this game, but he always rebuilt them immediately. He's still at 25 against 22, has the better amount of Harvesters, and the +1 attack upgrade and the speed for the Roaches is by now down. So we have +1 Roaches against Zerglings without an armor upgrade. The only problem for Serral is of course that those Zerglings are just so much faster, and that's why he has to move back once again. He needs to defend these bases that he has. He cannot simply move cross map and go for counter aggression, but he's in a very good spot here, and there will not be an attack upgrade for Jim Rising for quite a long time. Finland is on the verge of maybe taking a game. Jim Rising is playing a decent game here, but he has suffered a lot of losses already. Both of them with the resources lost roughly on the same level, but the Harvester count still in favor. Oh, actually by now in favor of Jim Rising. Apparently we had Jim Rising with another set of Banelings moving into his opponent's mineral line, trying to pull that off again, by the way, with a double Baneling here at the side. The Roaches, on the other hand, aiming straight now for that third. Only 2 Zerglings attacking here, needs a few more than that. He just goes straight for the natural at this point. And also those 2 Banelings over here have been found, and now Serral is on the move. The army supply is in his favor with 38 against 32. Keep that armor up, that attack upgrade in mind that he has over his opponent. The number of Roaches, 10 against 5 at this point. And Mexico is starting to be in a little bit of trouble, losing more Harvesters, down to 19 against 21 right now, losing 3 more. It's 16 against 21, and the Roach is moving in. That Roach War completely exposed. GG, well played, and in a very hectic Zerg versus Zerg. Serral successful against Jim Rising, ties the series up here at the Nation Wars, and we have now a Terran player coming to play Serral. It's going to be either Major or Maker, and we're going to find out very soon who's it going to be.